Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Knights of the Zodiac 2023. This is a new film out, rated PG-13 with a runtime of an hour and 52 minutes. As of the recording of this video, it has a Rotten Tomato score of 25% for the critics, 75% for the audience. Based on the international anime sensation Knights of the Zodiac, brings the Saint Seiya saga to the big screen in live action for the first time. Seiya, a headstrong street teen, spends his time fighting for cash while he searches for his abducted sister. When one of his fights unwillingly taps into mystical powers he never knew he had, Seiya finds himself thrust into a world of warring saints, ancient magic, training, and reincarnated goddesses who need protection. If he is to survive, he will need to embrace his destiny and sacrifice everything to take his rightful place among the Knights of the Zodiac. This movie is directed by Thomas Baginski, written by Josh Campbell, Matt Strucken, and Kiel Murray, based on the original manga Saint Seiya by Masami Kurumada. Uh, and before we get into the cast, I gotta say I'm a big fan of the Saint Seiya property, which is the main reason I want to check this in the theater. So I may be a little bit biased with my review. I don't dislike this movie per se. I don't think it's a very good movie. I think the critics definitely have a point, but I also think you can find enjoyable things in the movie. So we'll talk about all that stuff in the review. This movie starts Makin Yu as Seiya, Famke Jensen as Vander Gorod, Madison Eisman as Sienna, Diego Tinoco as Nero, aka the Phoenix Knight, Mark Dacascos as Mylock, Nick Stahl as Cassios, Sean Bean as Aman Kido, and Caitlin Hudson as Marin. Uh, so, right off the bat, if you are a fan of the original material, you probably want to go check this out. I don't know how long it's going to be in the theaters. I've heard things about Sony already trying to pull the picture because it's at my screening. There was four people. Uh, one of them fell asleep very quickly. I could hear them I could hear them snoring. And then on my way out, I asked another person, or the other one of the other people, like, what did they think of the movie? They say that overall they enjoyed it. They had never seen the anime, which kind of blew my mind. They were not familiar with the original Saint Seiya property, but they were fans of some people in the cast, so they wanted to go check it out, which is a great reason to, I think, go check out a movie. So, yeah, this adaptation, I think the film itself falls short in several areas, which leave much to be desired, specifically for fans of the original material. One of the most significant issues, I think, it's its lack of faithfulness to the source material. While there are some hints of the original material, the overall adaptation just feels disjointed and poorly executed. Fans of the anime will undoubtedly notice the significant deviations from the original storyline, which may be a little bit disappointing. But I think also they will notice some of the themes, some of the relationships between characters that are still there, part of this movie. They're kind of hidden in between all the chaos of this movie. The story itself is also not very interesting, and it leaves a lot to be like, it's very straightforward, leaves a lot of things to be unanswered. It really feels just kind of underdeveloped, where some of the crucial story elements and character motivations were just very loosely explained or even left unexplained at all. And where there are some exciting moments, the overall narrative just really lacks some complexity that I think the anime provided. Now, granted, the anime had a lot more time to play with this stuff, uh, so it's always tough, right? I think it's always tough for an adaptation. So the performances, I think, overall are fine. I don't think, like, you have Sean Bean, who's a great actor. Famke Janssen also, she's great in her role. She really plays the role that she's doing the assignment. Like, she understood what she was supposed to do. And I think everyone else is I think they're fine. I think they give good performances overall. However, they're not given much to work with, so it's really tough to put it a lot on the actors. So the characters just kind of feel very one-dimensional, underdeveloped. Seiya is probably the character that gets the most development, if you could say that, but it's still pretty challenging because his motivation is really the one thing driving him until it's not. The action scenes are kind of a mixed bag. There's some thrilling sequences interspersed with some poorly executed ones. While some fight scenes are kind of impressive and well choreographed, really well edited, some of the other fight scenes look weird and wonky. Yeah, and then some of the special effects are again hit or miss because this movie relies so heavily in CGI and special effects in the latter part of the film. When we actually get to everything with the actual knights, uh, it has a challenge. It's definitely an uphill battle for the movie. One thing I didn't really like was where the character redesigns, uh, especially for the Saints or the Knights. While it is understandable that filmmakers needed to put their own spin on the characters, the new designs just felt like they didn't fully grasp. Like at least the final designs. There's some designs in between that I feel they were like, okay, this looks like it could be promising. The villains too, their design I did not enjoy. I kind of understand what they were going for, but everything just looks so mechanical. And this movie switches a lot of the more cosmic and fantasy elements of the story for technology, which was a weird choice. I think I understand, I guess, why they had to do it that way, but I think it robs the story of what this anime is really about. So I will say one of the positive aspects that I want to highlight is the music, the score. It has a lot of, not only is it very well done, and I think it's plays very well in the scenes, but it adds a lot of the themes that were from the original anime. Like they've gone back and they used those as inspiration. Like I could hear some of the themes. There was one theme that I didn't hear, which is probably my favorite. When they, I don't know if it's called "Burn Your Cosmos" or something like that, but it's usually when that happens. But a lot of the other stuff, like they were there. Like some of those themes from the anime were in hidden within the music, and I'm not usually somebody that's very sensitive to that type of stuff, but that music is so ingrained in my head as a fan of this property that I could hear them, which was really fun. Uh, so I think that part really, anytime that hit, music really helped me elevate this film and my enjoyment of it. So I think this movie will definitely split the audience. I think there's going to be people that I hope it doesn't get compared to Dragon Ball Evolution, because I feel like this film I can see it's a lot more well intentioned. I think there's some missteps along the way, but it does feel like the characters tried. I like the for overall. I like the cast. I like the relationships. The sets too. I think some of the characters from the anime got a real cool. Specifically, Mylock probably was one of the ones that got the best glow up, if you will. Also, Sean Bean was excellent. I really like the casting of Phoenix, whose name they changed, probably to kind of westernize it. Which I don't think that you need to change Phoenix's original name. I think Madison Iceman is Sienna, whose name in the anime would be Saori. And Seiya Makinyu, like they did a good job. I like the scenes that they had together too. So yeah, this movie's kind of a mixed bag, but I'm glad I went to watch it at the theater. I love going to the theater, and I think I never expected I would see a live action Saint Seiya anime. So I'm very glad that it happened. Um, yeah, I will say if you have never seen the original anime, I highly, highly recommend it. They've never really done a good update to it uh, since the original adaptation. And I will say they really never got through a lot of the English stuff, so you will have to watch it in subtitles or in Spanish. I think if you like that. I think if I had watched this movie with the Spanish actors from the anime, the voice actors, I think they would have made it even a lot better. Only because, like I said, all that stuff kind of triggers the memory as a fan. I think that would have been interesting. I'm gonna look for this film in Spanish to see if they cast the same actor, same voice actors or similar voice actors from the original anime. So, yeah, I can definitely vouch for everything that happens in the Sanctuary arc, which is like the larger part of the main first part of the story. So, uh, if you're a fan of Saint Seiya or Knights of the Zodiac, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this film, if you've seen it. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.